We're going to start by diluting the Deshed in water using about an 8:1 ratio. I used too much here because the dog is very big and very thick coat. As with most of the process, you want to start with the head by putting your hand over the dog's eyes/nose so that it doesn't get in those. And you also want to sort of guard the ears by putting the shower behind the ears. One of my favorite tricks is that when the dog starts shaking, you can put your hand on his neck and he'll almost always stop. We're going in with the Deshed shampoo. You're supposed to let this sit for 5 minutes, but I was scrubbing the whole time, lathering it, so that was the 5 minutes. And also giving the dog lots of love. Now we're doing Deshed conditioner. Shake it up really well, same dilution. After lathering, let it sit for 5 or 10 minutes. I put up 10 to show you how our progress is with the shedding. Now the time-consuming part, blow drying. I like to get out our highest pressure blow dryer and do the bulk of it in the tub just to get off the water. You might be able to see like the droplets in the air. And once those droplets are gone and I don't feel any moisture, that's how I know that the dog is ready to be transferred to the table. After I transfer the dog to the table and do a little more drying with the high pressure blow dryer, I get out the smaller one because it has heat. And as you can see, I'm putting it almost directly against the dog's skin because if you move it around like I am, it's not going to burn them. It's not that hot anyways, but you want to be wary of that because it can hurt them. A very important part to do is the feet, which they might hate, they usually do, as well as the head, which is why I do the head last. But it's important to do the feet because they will hold moisture, so get that way drier than the rest of the body if you leave the body somewhat like damp, because we're going in there with our shavers and the feet will hold the moisture and it will just be wet even if you think you dried the feet. I didn't record myself drying his face, but basically you grab his ear and you do it right here, and then you hold it tighter and you do it right here, and then you just do the top of his head and the bottom and his muzzle. It's pretty easy, especially with short-faced dogs. So I'm going to start the bath and brush. You're not technically supposed to use this for deshedding, but I use the rake comb on long-haired shedding dogs, as you're supposed to. And this is a dematter, but it works for short-coated shedding dogs. And I use the smaller blade. Something other groomers will use is the Furminator. I prefer not to for his coat because how small the tooth is. I mostly use it for like finishing touches or like even shorter, like coarser coat after I've done the main deshed to get off the little hairs that are just poking out or whatever. But I can use it on him. And this one is just working better, so I'm going to use this one. I was just demonstrating that you can use this. I did his whole body, but as you can see in the clips, I'm only doing his neck. That's just because most of the footage was that, because that's where they shed the most, and their butt. You can see here that the resistance of the coat is making it hard to do, so I try to go from the bottom. But that resistance is the indication that there is undercoat that needs to come out. And it'll come out a little bit at the end of this clip, but yeah, it takes a while. You want to get it to the point where you can run a comb through it. I tried to show myself clipping the nails, but my hair is long and voluptuous and in the way. You can sort of see, but yeah, this was the best view we got. I did put my hair back later with a doggy hair tie because I didn't have one. So yeah. His nails were really easy to do. I wish I could have had someone record for me to show you what the nails looked like, but basically you can see the quick without having to cut down to it. It's like behind the nail. So I could just see where the quick started and cut off all that nail. It was sort of like hollow. I want to show you how to properly get the dog up and clip his back nails so that he can't resist against you. So you put your hand on his belly/penis area, and then you put your arm underneath his stomach area, like in between his legs. And they might try to sit down on you, but they can't. It also gives you a really good grip on the back paw. Now I'm dremeling his nails. I really should wear a mask for this part. Don't follow my example. You might notice that I am not doing the position here that I told you about, and that's because he is a good boy, but he had enough here. When you put your blade on, turn the clipper on before you snap it down. I'm doing his sanitary area. I did get my boss to help me because he was not being very cooperative. So right now I'm shaving his dingling, and you can also pull it down. You can't really tell what I'm doing, unfortunately, but at least you can tell that I'm doing it. But yeah, I would I would go to a video where someone is actually recording if you want to see that, because this is just to make sure that my school knows I know how to do it. I didn't have anyone to record for me. So I'm just going to walk you through it to prove that I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, you shave the sides of his penis and all up his belly, like about 2 inches, I would say. Like up until the belly button mark, which dogs do have. For males, it's so that they don't pee on themselves. Well, girls too, I guess. Now I'm shaving the inside of his leg. You want to go against the grain unless you're blending it almost all the way to the end of the thigh. Here's a picture so you can kind of see where I shaved. And when they sit down, you can sometimes see what you missed. So you just go in there and you grab the ding dong and just shave whatever you missed. Look at what a sweet boy he is. I love this boy. His name is Chapo. Now I'm going to shave his paw pads. This is kind of a better angle, so you can watch what I'm doing while I describe it. So you go 2 directions, down and up, in the paw pad. You want to kind of spread the toes, and you only do it in a V shape. You don't do in between the toes. And you can see the flicking motion I'm doing. Do not dig into the paw, it will cut them. Just sort of scoop it out. You also shave the excess hair that is on top of the toes. That you can do as far as in between the toes goes. And scoop out the hair from behind the toenails. As well as shaving a little above the paw pad, put your thumb on top of it so you can kind of tell it's like a 1/2 inch of hair that you might want to shave off, 1/2 inch. It'll vary a little with the length of the hair. There's a lot of work to do on the paws. Now I'm cutting out the hair from in between the paws. You just pull it up like so and cut it off, and it makes them look a lot cleaner. Also cut off any excess around the foot and nails. Now you grab some doggy toothpaste and put it on a doggy toothbrush, and then we're gonna brush his teeth. So you lift up his lip. You can't really see too well, but yeah, you lift up his lip and then you put the toothbrush in and you scrub like his molars and his front teeth. Front teeth are kind of hard to do, but you just pull up the top lip and kind of the nose. I'm gonna clean his ears with a cotton pad. I'm spraying it with hydrogen peroxide, which works. There's also actual ear cleaner out there, but we don't have any right now. Grab his ear. Don't be too rough with it. It might look like I'm being rough, but I'm just wiping it. Don't go in farther than you can see. Don't go actually inside of the ear. And lastly, I spray some doggy cologne. I grab a bandana. I love picking them out. Here's his. Isn't he cute? And that is a Deshed bath and brush.